Every day there's a lesson, meaning there's an opportunity for us to learn something. Life itself is probably our greatest teacher. Now, as a former corporate educator, I'm certainly a major proponent of teaching, training, and so forth, secondary education, go hitting the books and all that good stuff. But one of the things I struggle with as a trainer and as a leader of training departments is recognizing that even the greatest teachers, the greatest trainers that worked under me and so forth, there was a retention percentage that was very low, meaning the participants in the class would only retain a certain number of things over a 1 day, a 1 hour, or a 1 week training period. And that's why I think a lot of times the things that we learn through life, through our life experiences, become our greatest lessons. So today's video is all about life lessons, the things that we learn through our daily lives. Some are from mistakes, some are from things that we excel at, we do well, and of course some are also from observing others. But there are three things that I want to talk about, three important characteristics or components to learning through your life experiences. So my first point is this. If you are going to learn the lessons that life provides for you, you have to be open to receive them. You have to be willing to hear them and take them in. I'll give you an example. There's a gentleman I used to coach with when I was coaching youth football named Eric, who was a terrible football coach. Just call it what it is. Terrible coach. But he thought he was a great coach. So I remember going to a youth clinic where there were some of the best high school coaches from the area. They were doing the instruction. So they're providing instruction on different aspects of the football game, as well as interacting with kids, the psychological aspect of dealing with kids. And before we even got there, he said, I'm just going because I have to, because we're required to go to the clinic. I can't learn anything from these guys. If I need to learn, it needs to be a coach from the league or from a good college. And I'm like, wow. So you're already going in with a negative approach. You have the expectation that you can't learn from any of these guys because they're not coaching in the NFL or they're not coaching in college. And so the problem that many of us have is the arrogance that tells us that I can't learn from someone or something. That makes us unable to receive that lesson. So we're not open to receive the lesson that life provides for us because we're walking around thinking we know it all, we know too much, or we can't learn from something. And the first step, if you're going to learn from your life experiences, you have to be open. The second step is you actually have to receive and be willing to process that lesson. So after you receive it, you have to process it. You have to find out, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this? If you excel at something, how can I continue to be good at this? If you fail at something, how can I work harder or work differently so that I do not lose, do not fail at the same thing again? You have to receive that lesson and you have to process it. If you don't process and identify what the lesson is or what you can learn, where you can grow from it, then it's falling on deaf ears. It's like someone handing you something and you never receive it. You have to be willing to process it, take it in, and understand, what can I learn about it? And my last point, after you receive it and after you process it, you have to apply it. You have to apply what you've learned in this lesson in your life, in whatever circumstance it fits in, whether it's in the classroom, whether you're coaching, whether it's in your relationship. What good is it to learn something, recognize that you can grow from it and you can be better from it, and never apply it? If you never apply that lesson, then again, it may as well have fallen on deaf ears. You may have never received it because you won't be able to grow from it. You won't be able to win, be successful, be better because you are not carrying it out throughout your daily lives. As I said before, I'm a strong proponent of learning. I think learning is critical, of course, and that's classroom learning and so forth. But the daily lessons that we're taught, and sometimes they repeat lessons because quite honestly, we don't get them the first time. So the things that we learn during the course of our days, interacting with our family and friends, our co-workers and so forth, they're important. They're extremely important. Teaches us a lot about ourselves. Forces us to look in the mirror and see exactly who we are. But again, if you don't do three important things, then you'll never receive those lessons and you'll never receive the blessings associated with those lessons. So the three things are simple. First and foremost, you have to be open to receive them. You have to process them, take them in, see where you can grow, where you can learn from them. And lastly, you have to apply them. Apply them to your lives. Be at your very best and be successful.
Stand like this moment.